Hey, Star Wars fans, Rule of the Galaxy fans, it is Joe, and we are in episode whatever of those guys. This is the extra side of the Rule of the Galaxy podcast where usually Tom and Mass show up and we have a little chat about everything. But today we're going to do a mashup. Mass is having technical difficulties, and recently Brent Dykman, Tom Line, Mass, and myself went to the Great Ohio Toy Show. So we're going to do a little recap of that. But also in those madcap discussions we always have, there are no topics. There's nothing on the table. We're just going to see where this free flowing thinking goes. So welcome to those guys. Tom, I'm going to start with you. And if Mass shows up, he shows up. And then we'll go over to Brent. Tom, how you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing fantastic. You caught me in the middle of typing into the chat, our private chat here. So everything's great. Life is good. Uh, Happy to have Brent on here. We got to hang out and do the Great Ohio Toy Show thing. So we got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about.
We do.
We here. That should
Kelly,
be.
can you hear us?
That
So
should
here's
be.
the deal, guys. She's on backstage right now, so we're talking to her. So if anybody's watching it, it's recording us talking to nothing.
Correct. Now, I just added Mass to the conversation.
Right. So
And
when
I
you
can-
said we can hear you, the people who, if there's anybody watching, Well, it looks like they got a computer switcheroo.
We went to a different computer, and
This is such riveting radio right now.
here is Mass showing up out of the blue. So the mashup is complete. The mass-up is complete.
Okay.
We have Mass, Brent, and Tom. Tom just did a quick introduction. We're gonna hop over to Brent, and then we'll finish up with Mass. How you doing, Brent?
I'm doing well. I am kind of sleep deprived at the moment. I decided to play my game. I go to a buddy's house. We start at about 7 o'clock. I think I got home at 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh, Brent.
Crap.
That's that. That is why I'm in the predicament that I am in.
How many energy drinks did you slam?
0.
Wow.
What did you
Yeah.
partake in?
Oh, and just to throw that out at you, I also woke up and did my workout at 5 a.m. on Friday morning.
All right, Eager Beaver. You
I'm
can
just letting you
lie.
know, like, no, like it's weekend. Like I'm gonna pay for it the rest of this week. But yeah, so I work out at 5 a.m. Then I went to bed at 2 a.m.
That's
Almost
Mark Wahlberg stuff right there. Go to bed
Yeah.
at 2 a.m., wake up 5 a.m., work
Gonna
out.
work out in.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. How's Hudson doing, by the way?
Hudson is sitting next to me chilling. There is a video, on Facebook, I believe is probably what you're referring to. He had just a lot of regular scheduled appointments, and then he's had a tooth that's bothering him. For like the last maybe 2 weeks, we've done like periodic appointments. They said it was this, they said it was that. They said not to worry about it, and finally, like they just pulled the tooth, and then like I guess he's got a messed up anatomy, but I guess they were like the teeth were stacked on top of each other. One didn't have roots, so they were like it was just a whole hot mess in that spot. So one thing about him is he never shows pain, so you have to kind of like read mannerisms if things change. Um, he's a vacuum cleaner for Cheerios, and for those 2 weeks he really wasn't eating any Cheerios, so everybody knew something was up because the Cheerio consumption went down considerably.
Wow. I can tell you, I watch and keep the updates from social media, from you and Sam and everybody involved. It's amazing, and I know it's a lot of work, and I know he is he's a one in a million, right? I mean, there's
So I think he's one out of. So how many billion people do we have in the world right now? 7, I think.
yes.
And out of that 7 billion people, there are 50 individuals identified with his condition.
Okay.
Wow.
So he's more one in like
billion.
100 million.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's if anybody wants to see some parents who have put in a lot of time and effort in their child, just pay attention to the Dykmans because that is a lot of effort there, and God love him. He's always an interesting young man to be around when we get together and hang out. But,
I mean, that's his gift, dude. He connects with everybody, and everybody loves him. He has a gift, for sure.
That is awesome. Mass, I see the technical difficulties are cleaned up, and your smiling face is making me happy on this Saturday morning. How are you?
I'm pretty good. What kind of Cheerios does he like?
So we currently have. We were honey nut Cheerios for the long time, but because of the consumption level, we go to the Walmart version of the honey nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut? Sure. Yeah. That's the
So-
good stuff.
So this container will probably be consumed by the end of the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's the only thing that that's the only hard food that he eats consistently. He'll eat other stuff if we give it to him. It's just a lot of times it's just easier to just give him the Cheerios.
There you go.
I'm doing pretty well.
Okay.
How are you guys doing?
You have a grandkid over right now?
Yeah. Haley just had baby number 3 the other day, and so we are watching. Mama came home, and he was so happy to see her that they had to call us to come get him because he wouldn't leave her alone. So yeah. So the new baby's name is Abel.
Okay.
Little boy. So yeah, we got 3 now.
What's the countdown to your big day?
We got
I've got it right here. Hold on a second.
September 27th.
Oh, it's September. I was thinking it was May something. I was thinking it was imminent, not you still got a couple months.
Imminent.
Oh yeah, we got one.
Imminent. What a way to look at it.
I like that time. I tried to find
Nice.
Hold on. I've got it right here. 40,
Please let me
150,
be right.
154 days.
Oh, okay.
Do you really have a countdown, or you just do the math real quick?
I have a countdown going for my Italy trip, and I have a countdown for Mass's wedding.
Wow. Like a ticker
Yep.
off of the side.
Yeah. I'm like the guys in, what is it, Times Square, where they've got the
Yeah.
ticker going all the time. Yeah, I do that. I've got one for how long it's been since Mike Tomlin's won a playoff game. That's a long ticker right there.
That one's going. It just keeps going up.
Yeah, it keeps going up. The Cubs one was a long time too for the World Series, but it's been shorter now. So, and they won yesterday 13-11, and they gave up 10 runs in one inning. So that's a big deal. So, but I keep track of a lot of stuff, Tom. I've got a lot of stuff going.
You have a lot.
Yeah. To start off,
What was your last fantasy football win?
championship
What's the ticker?
win?
Yeah, championship.
That's longer than the Tomlin. We won't talk about that. Now, I've been to the championship twice or 3 times, but I've lost all 3 times. So
Matt throws it out there because he's the champion, the current champion of our SFL league.
And
That
Tom's
is 100% correct. Yes.
Yeah, and Tom's the champion of the keeper league. So yeah, I'm looking. I lost to both of them in the championships. That was fun. That was a good day right there. Second place in 2 things. So let's talk about. You know what? Let's do the recap real quick first, because then we'll go to our shotgun scatter discussions. But we went to Great Ohio Toy Show together. For Tom, for me, I think for Brent, getting up as early as we did was no problem. For Mass, maybe not so much. And we just had an adventure, and we followed a lot of Subarus on the highway to Ohio.
We did, and I don't know if Mass woke up until maybe a half hour at the toy show.
No.
I think that was when Mass finally woke up, is after we entered the toy show and walked around in at least the first building.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
I would think it was a pit. He woke up after the pit stop.
I
That's
agree.
true. There was a pit stop. There was a short
after
pit
the
stop.
McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to be our age, McDonald's does things to a man.
Oh,
And-
that's right. I forgot
Yeah.
about the 1 hour time limit. He's got an expiration date on his McDonald's.
That's when his
Hey.
sticker. That's when his sticker. He's stuck. Last bite. Let's go. We got 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's about 60 minutes. Yeah. Every time I go to McDonald's, 60 minutes later, we got to pull over because I got to shit somewhere.
Oh, here we go. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
Jake,
we were all
you're
referencing it, so we needed to make sure that it came out, right? Did it come
Well,
out easy or?
I'm informing the fans. what
There
I'm
we go.
doing.
And I personally like that Tom had multiple choices of wipes in the car
This is
for Mass.
true.
Hey, you got to always be prepared. Is that like the Boy Scout or Cub Scouts
think so.
motto?
Yeah.
Always be prepared. Yep.
Something else that just brought that up reminded me. Have you guys talked about the Dr. Squatch fascination?
We have not very much on the show, but
Oh my
I
god,
would like to get
he's
into
gonna
it.
reach over for a Dr. Squatch bar. Now, for Rule of the Galaxy people, we have a Dr. Squatch that is going to join us as we talk about Andor, which is coming up.
Yes.
But Tom Line is a big fan of the Dr. Squatch soap lines, which have different smells. I know there's a Star Wars line. I think there's a Marvel line. What are some of the other like crazy lines? And I believe I was told that you have darn near every flavor that is produced.
I do.
I
And
think they're
these are the most
scents.
recent ones. But
That's
It's
what
a flavor.
yeah.
I mean, it's a
I
flavor.
don't want
If
to
you
eat the
taste-
soap.
yeah. That's like a thing with them. They say don't eat the soap, and everybody asks like, when are you gonna make it to where we can eat it? When are you gonna make chocolate milk flavored?
Oh.
It's a thing.
Oh, that's gross.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
I will say, I think what's really cool is now I've got multiple Dr. Squatch soaps in my house, and I use them. And then Thomas supplemented me with even more, so I've got a good stack for a little while here. But I thought it was really cool that he uses them as air fresheners in his car. I mean, that's a good call right there.
I've made a change on that too, though.
Why is
What?
that?
I've switched over to a new air freshener in my car.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was it not like? Did it work? I mean, did it give off enough of a smell or not? That was because I feel like doesn't it have to be activated to give the smell?
Well, how do you know I wasn't in there activating it?
Wow. That is.
Okay.
Wow.
Activation.
Okay. I mean, I
Visuals in my
feel like
head,
I
none of
walked
them
into
good.
that wall. I feel like I walked into that wall. But
I always felt like if it had heat by it, that it would kind of emit.
Emit.
We'll just say mitt. It's gonna
Omit
emit
would be
something.
taking it away.
Yeah. That it would emit a scent, the fragrance, the odor.
well,
The
now
smell.
that it's summer, well, I guess summer will actually bake it in there while it's during
Yeah.
the.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I've switched over to the Drift. Have you seen the little ads for Drift?
No.
Well, I'm not gonna like start repping them yet until we start getting money. You know, we're getting money now from Swatch, so
Yeah, we should be, as much as we talk about them.
Whatever.
So
Life isn't about advertisements.
Mass, I will say we had interesting, since when you got into the car,
Wow.
kind of woke us all
We're
up a
going
little
there,
bit.
huh?
Wow, yeah.
I mean,
that was incense.
5:45. Yeah,
Yeah. Incense.
incense.
That's what that was.
It was oregano and incense.
Yeah.
I tried to tell my RA in college that too, and they didn't buy it either.
There was she likes candles. I don't like candles, so we
Sure.
switched to incense. Yeah.
gotcha.
And that
Everybody.
smoke from the leaves of the incense just sticks to your.
Yes.
That is correct. Yes. That's my story.
Not tobacco leaves, the incense leaves.
Oh, we don't have any tobacco leaves.
That was hilarious. He got in, and all three of us just looked like, what the heck?
Well, it could have led to the reason why he didn't wake up really fully until
True.
he was at the Ohio show.
All right, so
I like I smokes it every morning. And
we thought you started off the day.
I'm not a morning person. I don't wake and bake.
It's wake and bake, and hell.
Have all of you have been to the toy show before, right? Brent, was that your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time.
Okay,
It's like, do you think that I just go to Toy Time on my own?
No, but I couldn't remember. We've been so many times, I couldn't remember who all had gone. And so that was your first experience with it.
The cherry
Mass and Tom. That was your second, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mass and Tom, you'd been there before. Would you say it was even more of a madhouse this time than the previous time?
Yes.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
It seemed like the first time that we went, I can't remember how many years ago that was, but it seemed like it flowed much better last
Mm-hmm.
time we were there. And it was like everybody was walking two different directions all the time at this one, but I still had fun. It seemed like there were a lot more variation of toys last time. Like there was a lot of artwork and stuff last time we were there, which
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
see a lot of this time. But yeah,
It seemed bigger and the weather was better.
Oh yeah.
Last time the weather was really crummy and it was kind of cold. So when you go between the buildings,
It was a
uh,
quick walk.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
You didn't
very,
linger out.
very fast.
There was no food court or food trucks.
Correct. And yeah, and this time they had the food trucks, they had the DJ out there
It did.
playing music. So it was fun. But it was again, I feel like I have to take a shower after one of those things.
Oh, a lot of digging, a lot of touching.
A lot of you talk about smells, a lot of smells. A lot of smells.
and it weren't Dr. Squatch.
It was not.
They could have
It's
benefited.
Dr. Crotch.
Dr. Crotch.
Dr. Sweaty Crotch.
I mean, they would also probably have benefited from some hygiene lessons as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But hey, it's all good.
So
They were
Brent,
working, man.
Brent, it was your first time there, and I know
Yeah.
you're not Toy Time guy, but you did purchase some things, and it seemed like you enjoyed it. I mean, we had lots of good conversation.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I enjoy it's part of my shtick now to belittle and bemoan and begrudgingly talk about Toy Time, because you can't start talking about toys without me going, oh, it's Toy Time. But like, I also don't have the collector bone in me. So that part of Toy Time, like, you guys talk Toy Time, you guys talk collecting, that concept is so lost on me. But you and Alfie and D-Doc are like super into that type of thing, and collecting is not something that like it's lost on me. But toys aren't.
Yeah.
I like toys. I like stuff. I like remembering stuff. I mean, I walked with Tom for a building and a half or so. It was just him and I, and like just finding the toys from the kids and like from your generation, like mask toys. I shouldn't be surprised, but the level and the amount of GI Joe that was there, which to me GI Joe was what I pretty much remember playing with. I think I've said this on Rule of the Galaxy. It's like if we were out in the yard, it was playing with the GI Joe toys. The Star Wars toys were there, but it wasn't as much as GI Joe for me and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So like seeing the hovercraft, seeing the battleship, seeing the rocket,
I
I don't
thought,
know,
yeah, it wasn't
space
like
shuttle, the space shuttle
space
one,
shuttle. Yeah.
whatever. Seeing a lot of those pieces, and then there was like one table where they had like loose beater vehicles for like $5 in a bag, and was contemplating that one. So that part of the Toy Time, those types of things I enjoy. It's just when you guys start talking about it, it's all fun. I enjoyed those things. The other thing, like, there's a couple things about it. One, there is so much there that I was anticipating. I didn't realize you guys would want to check out so early. This is because this is my brain. My brain goes, let's go see everything and then go back and see if it's still there. Right? Let's not like automatically buy the first thing we see at the first table.
You mean like
Because-
Alfie?
Yeah, Alfie was out of money. That's why we left. Let's be real. Alfie hit his limit after 30 minutes of being in there.
But like I want to see what's all there and then
Yeah.
go through and be like, yeah, I'd probably go back and see if it's still there. And that's eventually what I did for one of the items that I did end up getting. But yeah. I mean, it's an early ass day. There were a lot of folk. You guys say that there were more this time. I spent a lot of time talking to a 3D. It was a 3D print statues, but they paint them themselves.
Mhm.
And Tom can attest, I nerded out with this guy about painting, and I was trying to teach Tom how to paint and like why that looked more yellow and more white than yellow, and the layering that goes into it, because the paint jobs on those statues were phenomenal,
Yeah, it was
and
really
They were.
and
neat.
I just nerded out on the types of paints that they use and talking to him about painting. So
We talked about it on the recent Rule of the Galaxy. I'm kind of geeked out about how you have found this niche since we've started doing the podcast with the miniatures, the painting, and now talking to guys like that. I think it's really cool because we each find our little passion, our little nook in life, right? Little things that just make us happy, and so it's really cool that those kind of things excite you. So
yeah, and so case in point, two things, and then I'll kind of explain what I did purchase. Case in point of like the type of person that I am. I was walking around, and there was a collector table, and I found out it was a collector table after I saw it was an X-wing, and it was one of the older X-wings. It was a bigger one too, so it wasn't like the smaller ones, like the newer smaller ones. It was, I don't know if it was an original 77, but it was a big one. You could push R2's head down, and
mhm.
the wings would pop up, right? So like if you remember that X-wing. Um, I believe the weapons were missing, like the actual like guns at the end, the little or two of them were missing, and the sticker was ripped off the side of one of them, or it was missing from the side, but it was like coiled up inside the cockpit. So, but it was all yellowed, and it looked like it was old, and I, in my brain, thought this was a beater, right? This was something that like, and so I asked them, I was like, so like I was just looking at it, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, like I got this, I got that. It's got the stickers, you can put them back on, they're inside the cockpit. And I was like, so like what are you looking for? He's like $95.
Mm.
I said, I'm not your guy. That is not what I thought this was gonna be. I thought this was a beater, and but it's got, and like we're still trying to. I was like, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm in here for.
He called that guy's prized possession a beater to his face.
It's not his prized possession. There was several other things because he was in the middle of a hardcore negotiation for a fully boxed GI Joe, something in the GI Joe box from like the 80s. So it was, and like somebody was like, they were having a hard negotiation for this thing, and I want to say that it was maybe a grand item. I don't know what it was, but I feel like the negotiation was over spending a grand on that thing.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
But it was a GI Joe. It was a big. The box was about 4 foot by
Mm-hmm.
2.5 foot wide. Like it was a decent sized thing. I don't think it was the battleship, but it was something from Joe that was that size. Anyways, I don't think my $95 was going to have that big of my lack of $95 would have that much impact on their sales. But I found out later as I was looking and doing searching, trying to figure out what to do because I ended up purchasing another X-wing, the same one that is a beater for like $20. I was searching; those things go for like 150.
Wow.
I can believe it.
So that X-wing went for about 150. So it makes sense that he was trying to sell it for 95. I'm not hating on the guy for doing it. That's just not that's not what I'm in it for,
Right.
right? I'm in it because of Legion, and I'm trying to make terrain. So the second story kind of comes from that. Is like I've been on a hunt. So I want to make a Christophsis board
From the Clone
and
Wars.
from the Clone Wars. And I've been on a hunt for the ATTE that's kind of a beater ATTE that you can take and like put like smoke coming off of it, and it looks like it's a destroyed ATTE to be something that you can play around and use as terrain. Didn't find it, but like I'm looking for terrain pieces for the game. I was with Tom again because every story I tell Tom is with you. We were walking around, and I think Alfie was like, "Hey, look at this table. Underneath the table, there's a bunch of like broken down. There's a bunch of broken down stuff." So we walked around. We finally found it because it wasn't obvious that the tub was what it was. But we pulled the tub out. There were 2 Millennium Falcons. There was 2 ATSTs and a snow speeder, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
About something like that.
Yep.
And he after talking to him, he was gonna give me that, or not? He was gonna give me. He was gonna sell me that tub for $50, and that's a nice price, and a nice price to be able to take those pieces, break them apart, and have terrain for the rest of the time, right? So it was hard to pass it up. At the same time, I don't want to transport all of
Right.
that crap back to Indiana inside of somebody else's car, yada yada. But it was like it was pulling at me. It's like if I had a bigger space, bigger to transport. So there was one of the ATSTs, and again, or the ATSTs,
Yep.
where and again it was the older one, and if you push down on it, the legs would walk.
Yes.
You know, I don't know which one it is, but that was one of the original ones, I believe. But like it had that little button in the back that would make it walk. So I was holding that up, and I was like, well, if that was 50, can I like get this for like 5? And the guy was like 10. And in my head, I'm like, okay, so you were going to sell me this whole box with a lot more product for 50, and you're going to sell me this one item for 10. Now, again, two things. One, I think those walkers go for about 110 a piece. So this guy thought I was trying to pull one over on him, I'm sure. Second, I'm sure there was something to do with like electronic transactions, where if you do an electronic transaction, you got to do X amount,
Charge.
otherwise it costs more for them. So it kind of, and afterwards, I like, because Tom and I were like, why would I pay? Because you were like $5 was good, because it was kind of a broken piece.
I was beat to hell.
And so $5 would have been made sense to me, but I think $10 makes more sense to them, because if it was electronic transaction, like it's not worth it. They don't make as much out of it, type of a thing. So I passed on that, just because of the transportation. Like if I was going to spend $10 on one of those items, I might as well spend 50 on the whole thing.
Right.
Is where my brain was at. Like, cause like, yeah, I would got a lot more for relatively not much more cost. I ended up buying a Sam Weisel speeder for $10, that X-Wing for like $20, and an Outrider.
Tash Rendar.
And so when I purchased all of those vehicles, I was trying to think of what planet. Did I tell you what planet I'm going to make? What planet could I put all of those together to make
the Greedo planet?
Yeah,
Rhodia.
So I was like, okay, what? Because like Rhodia has like bounty hunters and stuff like that. It was kind of it's kind of a rough place in like in the original trilogy timeline. There's a couple shows there's a couple episodes in the Clone Wars that looks like it's nicer. It's when they thought that Jar Jar was a Jedi. They went to Rhodia. Anyways, I just had to rewatch it to see if there were pictures of what Rhodia looked like. I'm going to take the Sam Weisel speeder and make it crashed, but also put it into a swampy, like landing in a swampy, almost like the X-Wing on Dagobah, and use water effect to go and resin to go over the top of it, so it looks like it's submerged into like a swampy water. And I've taken the X-Wing, broke it apart, and scale-wise, the engines are way too big to make it be an X-Wing. So I think I'm going to try to paint it up to make it look like U-Wing engines, and put those also like they're crashed and all over the place.
Tom and Mass, you guys have no idea. We really have we all played or been around Legion?
Mass did.
Yeah, I played.
That stuff is crazy. You know what? I want to get you three in a room and playing it, and I'll just film the whole thing. Get my ADD going. I'll just do that. Brent, I did follow your plan, and I walked the whole thing. And then there was one thing that I was looking for, was this little Y-Wing right here from the late 70s. And most people were selling it for like $40 and $50. And this one guy had it for $10 at his table. and all because it didn't have the bomb on it on the bottom. Well, I can live without the bomb for $10 instead of $40 or $50 for the bomb. So I was really pumped, because it's just helping me add to my Y-Wing collection there. My favorite ship in Star Wars.
Is that really your favorite ship?
I love the Y-Wing. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna look into finding like the Lego version of it. I'm gonna look into finding the Clone Wars version of it. I just something about the Y-wing. I don't know why. I think because they didn't make the toy originally back when they made the X-wing and the TIE fighter, and then the holiday special had Luke flying a Y-wing when they crashed and met Boba Fett. So there's just something about the Y-wing that I think is really cool.
The Lego versions, I think, right now have all been discontinued, so they're all like high price.
Yeah.
And then there's the Anakin variation from the Clone Wars cartoon, which is pretty steep too. So good luck.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, I mean, life goes on. I'm sure.
Does it?
Somebody will give me some kind of inheritance someday, and I'll be able to buy those things.
Somebody from my Legion community has a 3D printed one that I could paint up and send your way.
Gosh, Brent, always give me the inside scoop. So guys, we had some movie and play or musical kind of things that happened. I'll start off by saying I watched a Woody Allen movie called To Rome with Love.
God, you are ate up with Rome right now.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's my obsession. But it was the weirdest freaking movie I've ever seen. To Rome with Love had tons of great actors and actresses in it. You guys, it's very weird. But they were walking all around
Woody
Rome.
Allen.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if anybody's seen it, wants to chime in either on the chat or if they want to send us an email later, tell me your thoughts on To Rome with Love. Because honestly, I'm not a big Woody Allen fan. Lori's like, have we ever seen this before? I said, no. And there were a lot of, like I said, good actors and actresses in it. So we watched it and I looked at her. I said, I don't know what the hell we just watched. It was kind of like The Last Jedi all over again. And then, last night, I was like, let's just chill. It's a Friday night. I had to let somebody go at work yesterday. So, me, I'm a people pleaser, as Matt says. And I come to find that he's right. I'm a fixer. And so it really hit me to have to do that. I don't like to do things like that. So Friday was a chill night. We watched a movie called Like Father with Kristen Bell and Kelsey Grammer from Frasier. Actually, good movie. I'd never heard of it before. We just flipped through the channels. We like Kelsey Grammer. We like Kristen Bell. So we watched it. I would give it a watch. It's an entertaining, interesting movie. So just one thumbs down, one thumbs up. So
you know how I know you're old?
Yeah, how's that?
You said flipping through the channels.
He did say, and then my brain was like, "What channels?" Because it was on a streaming service.
Okay, yeah.
And I was going to ask what streaming service. Tom, I'm right there with you.
Hey, I am old. All right, I know.
I own it.
I'm the oldest guy in this.
Do you go to the talkies or do you go to the show?
Yeah, see.
We're gonna go to the movies. See, we're gonna go watch.
Yeah.
We're gonna go this way and that way. See.
Yeah. Give me a hot cup of coffee, babe. Come on. All right.
What is happening?
Tom, we'll start with you.
Yes.
Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Give us a rundown on Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Not the movie.
Full disclosure here, not a Tim Burton fan.
Okay.
I know, not a Tim Burton fan. He's too dark, too weird, too bizarre. Not a fan. My oldest daughter, wanted to go see Beetlejuice, and it's part of the package.
Mm-hmm.
So
what package are we speaking of?
The
wow, Joe.
The Broadway musicals in Indy.
Okay.
You get like a package, like you can do like
buy a season pass. There's like
a season pass. So it's part of them. Next season is amazing.
There's some good ones.
Super excited about next season.
There's some good ones.
But anyway, not a fan of the movie. Not a fan of Tim Burton. But the first act was really good. Really good. Charlie, the actor that played Beetlejuice, played it with like a Charlie Day in Horrible Bosses when he got all coked up and he's like all just, and the stuff that was coming out of his mouth was stuff that,
I told you would love it.
It was an R-rated show for sure.
Wow.
I told you would love it.
Yes, yeah. So
it's a step below Deadpool.
Yes.
I called it like, so Deadpool is like the raunch level, and like the things that this dude said are not quite to the Deadpool level,
Close.
but he's approaching Deadpool.
Yeah.
Mass,
So
you'd like this then.
yeah. So it would. Yeah. He would have really liked. He would have liked it because he likes Tim Burton and
I like the
his
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So the second act, and I think this is why I don't like that movie too. That second act, it just gets so bizarre when they go to the underworld or the whatever world. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god. I'm like, I was just sitting with person next to me because the chairs are just, well, Brent knows the chairs are not like meant for normal size human beings, and like it's tight, and I got some random person here, and I just keep fidgeting because I'm like, I need to get out of here. But we're like in the middle
Yeah.
of the upper row, so like if I would have gotten up, it would have made excuse me, I would have had to go through the whole aisle. So yeah. Rankings, it would go Moulin Rouge was the number 1.
Okay.
6 was number 2 so far. Beetlejuice was number 3, and then The Elf, which was awful, was number 4.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
Elf was not that great.
It was
bad.
okay.
It was okay, but it wasn't that great. It's not one of the
It was
ones
bad.
that I would rank up high. My family, we have 2 seats, so we alternate who goes and what can see. So I drew the Beetlejuice straw, and I actually go before. So ours are like, so the run starts on Monday. Tickets are on Wednesdays, and I think you guys got like a Saturday run or whenever you got them. And our tickets are in the greatest location ever because it's the same seats the whole way through, right? So we are in like the last row of that like middle section, and we are off to the edge. So we are the first seats of the back, like that middle row. It's amazing. Like the seats are perfect. So I don't have to worry about the timeline. I can sneak out when I need to. I saw it, and I told Tom in our text chat, and then I went up to Amy and I was like, Tom's going to love the first half. Because like we had just come back from the toy show, and the amount of Deadpool references that were made in the car ride, I was like, the raunch level is gonna be right on Tom's alley. He's gonna love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm gonna probably murder what it's at, but I want you to realize what was said. And I know that I'm on YouTube, so if you have children,
Demonetized.
Yeah.
I'm not like, no, I'm just gonna give a spoiler. So he was somehow talking to a girl, a female, and I think it was the one that was a very promiscuous female. There was a conversation about using lube, and he was talking about meeting her, and he was talking about getting a gallon of lube to like when he met her. I don't know what happened, but essentially through the conversation, he was talking about making guacamole, and she said, I like guacamole on my taco. And then he stops and he's like, does that mean what I think it means? And so you can, see, Mass? Now you see why I say the raunch level, and it's right on par with Deadpool. Mass, like, yeah.
Didn't he say he got that from, or he got some, she had that, he got it from Katharine Hepburn or something like that?
Potentially,
Yeah.
And it just was like, and I have my 13-year-old daughter sitting next to me, and the row in front of me was about 7 teenage high school girls. And so like and then I saw like when I was going to my car, I saw like an 8-year-old get like dressed up as Beetlejuice getting into the car leaving. So it's not like it was a show for the teens, but yeah, like I was like, ooh.
That 8-year-old went back to school and he's saying all the references from the movie.
I got like guacamole on my, and it wasn't guacamole on my tacos. It was guacamole on my taco.
Yeah.
Does that? And then the Charlie Day comes in on credit. Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah. It was.
I can only imagine taking Lori to a play or a musical.
They're fun, man. I really do enjoy them. I didn't think I would, but I saw Hamilton twice, and that got me like hooked. Yeah.
Hamilton's good. And you probably got the season pass because Wicked's coming up in the fall. If you bought the season pass, you were guaranteed a ticket to Wicked.
Correct.
With how popular Wicked now is,
yes,
it's gonna be hard to get a ticket to that show.
Yep.
Anyways,
You're good. Before I get to Brent's movie breakdown, Mass, is there? I almost said Alfie. Mass, is there? Is there?
to rule the galaxy.
Yeah. Is there anything you? Mass just left while I was going to ask him a
No.
question. There he is.
Drop my earbud.
Is there anything streaming, movies, series that you've been watching recently that has flicked your beck, got you going?
I watched this. There's 3 seasons. There's 6 episodes to a season. They're a half hour long. It's called Afterlife, and I have trouble pronouncing the guy's name. Is it Ricky Gervais?
Oh, that
Gervais?
Gervais, yeah.
Yeah, Gervais. He's a British comedian,
Yeah.
and
Afterlife.
but it turned out to be a really really good show. It's he's an atheist, but his wife has just died.
Oh.
And it just was how he was dealing with life after her leaving, and it was Kelly really liked it too. It was kind of insightful, it was kind of heartwarming. It was funny. Really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I recommend that to you guys.
What
Was that
streaming
Netflix?
service is it
Yeah, I
on?
was what channel did you go to?
Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
I have to know, did it get into religious discussions and things like that, since you said he was an
Yeah.
atheist?
Yeah, because he was, he's the only guy that, everybody else believed in something but him. And so, yeah, it does go into, ideology and philosophy, and but it was funny and entertaining. So I enjoyed it a lot.
Was it like Ted Lasso where everything ended like Ted Lasso would have sad episode, like a sad episode, but it would always end on a high note. Like everything always made me feel good at the end of Ted Lasso. Every episode, I just was like, was Afterlife like that, or did you just contemplate life after that?
It was there was a lot of contemplating. It wasn't always good, but there were some good ones.
Mhm.
Like I said, there's only 18 episodes, half
Yeah.
hour long. But yeah, when it left good, it left really good.
Okay.
So
I like him.
I will, again, before we get to Brent's thing, so that's good. I've written that down. I'm going to go check that out on that channel. But Mass, Lori, Kelly, and I got to go to dinner together, a week ago, right, Mass?
yeah,
We went
Week ago.
down to K Bello in Bloomington, Indiana. Nice little Italian restaurant. I thought it was pretty good. Looking forward to taking anybody and everybody up to my favorite Ytre More and Fisher's pretty soon. But I was really enthralled with how much conversation came down to where Mass and Kelly could find things to stoke Lori's fire of finding ways to either rip on Joe or find my faults from when we were dating or first together and things like that. That was good. That was a fun time. Yeah, a lot of good memories brought up. How Lori caught me walking with a girl at I forget, Little Five at IU one year. Yeah, that was good. Thanks for bringing those things up, Mass. That was good.
Lori doesn't need any help, my friend. Lori chooses her own path.
Yeah.
But I was happy to help. Throw in a little 2 cents everywhere I could. But no, I don't even know how that. I think just entering Bloomington brought that up. I don't think there's anything I could have done about that, my friend.
Yeah, we're nixing Bloomington trips and conversations from now on. That's out of the picture.
I don't think it's just Bloomington, man.
I think it was Bloomington. I think as soon as we rolled in, oh look, isn't there where I saw you on the street at night?
Walking with some other woman?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Good times.
Good time.
Good times.
You know what's weird is doing this podcast, knowing that my family is like literally right in that room right there, probably like wondering what the hell we're talking about.
It's all right.
Well, I mean, your daughter's come in and gave you she came in and gave you a little chokehold, and like then my daughter would do that too on early podcasting. because we've been doing it for 4 years. She would want to stick her head in and do like the little wave, just like
Yeah.
she poked her head behind you. So yeah.
That was my little show choir girl that
Okay.
popped in here.
Jazz hands. Brent, what movie did you go see recently that I didn't get the full recap of it?
So I had watching one of my channels and flipping the channels. There are ads that pop up randomly on this channel that I just watch. So while watching YouTube, and it just popped up, right? And normally you can skip the ad, but
Mhm.
like as the movie trailer popped up for Warfare popped on, 2 seconds into, I mean, not even 2 seconds, my brain was like locked in on the intensity of this thing. And I watched that trailer and then I went back and looked it up and tried to find it and kind of secretly obsessed about it. And I even put it into our Rule the Galaxy chat a while back, the first time I saw it. And I knew it was sometime in April, and I had an open Friday night. I didn't realize it was open until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. So I sent out a message, and I knew it was super late
11
notice.
p.m.
It was super late notice, right? Like that I went to like the 10:30 showing because that was the time like everybody's in bed. It's easier for me to go. Those are the times that like I'm gonna probably see. I would like to go see movies with you guys, but like the re-release of Return of the Jedi, not Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith. I'm probably gonna have to go to like a 10:30 show on like Friday or Saturday, which most of you guys will be in bed. Right? Because you guys go to bed at like 4. You eat dinner at about 4 because you're in that
Wow.
senior
That's just
citizen
Joe.
range,
That's
right?
just Joe.
No, you guys
Mass
are
is up.
so wrong.
Mass is up doom scrolling on Instagram. He and I just go back and forth firing freaking message reels to each other.
So anyway, I went to and because of the intensity of the preview and a couple of the scenes in the preview, I was like, I got to see that in IMAX. And so I went to Warfare, came out April 11th, and I got a ticket to go see it. There were 5 to 10 people in the IMAX room at the AMC.
That's it.
So yeah, well, it was a 10:30 show,
Yeah.
but like here's the thing about movies, man. They're niche, and like and seeing the ad, like I don't know what it was about my algorithm that YouTube thought that I should see it, or if they paid to put it out. But not everybody's like. It's not like we're sitting and watching Seinfeld and
getting it.
getting that Warfare
fed to us
preview
all the time.
watching
Yeah.
Seinfeld, right? So that would be a different like every like media is so interesting, and to me it's like business and scattering and like the common like anyways. I get so into like thinking about that type of stuff. Warfare story. Iraq War 2006. Ramadi. It's it is a almost real time account of what happens to this platoon over the course of basically an hour and a half firefight. Maybe a 2 hour firefight. They could do some time jumps, but not much. And shit hits the fan. I mean, it's the best way to say it. Now, yeah, so I'm trying to like it was a Navy SEAL platoon. They were just doing a reconnaissance mission. I think they were trying to support other battles that were going on. They were trying to clear Ramadi. It was just whatever you have. They take over a house. They just take over a house, and then they go sit and watch. And all of a sudden, a grenade comes into the house because they see insurgents and they're calling for jihad and. All of those announcements are happening, so the soldiers know what's going to go on. A grenade hits the house, and then the shit hits the fan from there. They call for an evac because somebody gets injured. The leader basically he can say that grenade messed him up, and he was like shell shocked, and like he was kind of faded the whole time through. But I'm giving way more detail than I probably should, but like this is a spoilered preview. They have the Bradleys come up to try to take the guys out. As the Bradleys pull up, an IED goes off and vaporizes a couple of the Iraqi embedded military people, takes the legs off of a couple of them. And then it's just everything happens from there. This is told from like debriefed accounts from the military, as well as one of the filmmakers was one of the military personnel involved in this firefight. So he's telling it from his point of view, from what he actually did. So it has a bunch of like millennial actors. So like Will Poulter, who played in
Warlock.
say that again.
Warlock.
Okay, so I don't know Warlock, but he was also
Guardians of the Galaxy. Isn't it Warlock?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. If it's the same guy, I'm trying to think.
We're the Millers.
The Maze Runner. He was in Maze Runner.
Yeah.
And he was also in
We're the Millers. Yeah.
We Are the Millers. Yeah, he was the kid in the We Are the Millers.
Spider bit my balls, David.
Everybody's seen a dick.
And then there's a bunch of other guys. It's a who's who. I didn't realize that James Gandolfini had a son, whose son is in it. So he's an actor. He's playing one of the guys. Anyway, there's like it's an ensemble cast, and you wouldn't know that these guys are kind of like the teen heartthrobs of like the millennial generation because of the way that they play it. They play it so well. They do a really good job. Overall review, I think anybody should see it.
Okay.
It's intense, but it's slow because it really is just like a day in the life of these guys. It's not sensationalized. It's not overhyped. It's not a bang bang shoot 'em up. It is like the first 45 minutes, 30 minutes is basically humdrum. This is like what's going on here. But the way that they shoot it creates that tension. But it's slow and it picks up, but then it slows down, and it picks up and it slows down. I would go watch it again in a heartbeat. Okay. I don't know if I need to see it in IMAX. The best way to explain it is it's the 2025 version of Black Hawk Down. So Black Hawk Down was kind of an intense firefight that happened in Somalia, and talking about what happened in the 90s. It came out in the 2000s, but it was talking about something that happened in like 96, 97. This is coming out in 2025, talking about something that happened in 2006. It does not give you any like political aspirations. It literally is just warfare.
Okay. Interesting.
But I think it's worth watching. And I think that's one, I think everybody should see it in the theaters, because a movie in a theater makes it better. But I think the big screen will make this better than the small screen. There were 3 times that they did shows of force, which basically because of where they were pinned down, they couldn't have the jets drop bombs. So basically the jet gets about 10 feet off the ground and just goes down the street. And the way that they shot it was just phenomenal. And like the sound was phenomenal. I would piss down my leg if that happened. Because I've seen flyovers and they're a couple hundred feet in the air. When it's like at the top of the roof, I would not. I don't know how I would. Yeah.
The whole military thing, like I am hats off to anyone and everyone who participates in the military. There's a reason why I sit and talk on podcasts and that I do sales calls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I would be the best fit for a military purpose. One, the uniforms, let's face it, they clash with my skin tone. 2, see, that was a joke. But yeah, it takes a certain set of cojones to want to be a part of that kind of stuff. And I don't know if that mixes well with me. So, but you know what? I do like military movies. I could watch military documentaries all the time. So I'm gonna have to check this one out.
It's a step above a documentary, but it's in that documentary world. But gotcha. Documentaries also give you like context, and there's none of that. It's like you are literally just embedded with this platoon for an hour and a half in this situation.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I want to see it still. But the late notice and I think it was 11 o'clock. I think it was 11 o'clock was the showing, because if I remember the text right,
it was 10:30.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
But like, if you're listening to us, like the 5 people that listen to us, watch the trailer. Like, I feel like that I'm a sucker for a trailer, but that trailer shows you like what it's going to be. It's an intense trailer, because as soon as I put it out in the text chat, Tom's like, I had no idea about this movie, but I would love to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Trailers are the best. I would like to have a job that's
Films are better than the movie.
yeah. I just
A
like
lot
to
of times
review
they are.
trailers. Yeah. Hey, speaking of trailers, segue time.
Yeah.
You know, Alfie, the Book of Alfie, has done
Oh
such
my
a
God.
fantastic job of. I'm not at Star Wars Celebration in Japan right
But
now.
I feel like I am.
Yes, I feel like I bought a ticket and I'm there because my text chain every 2 minutes has news, updates, photos, videos. The dude, he should be a reporter for Lucasfilm / Disney / whatever. He lives it. I mean, he's
Oh
like,
yes.
he's Adam Schefter. I think D-Doc or you put that in there. He's the
Breaking
Adam
news.
Schefter of Star Wars news. It was crazy. So
I
there's a
woke,
ton.
I woke up this morning, right? Because they're on a different timeline. I woke up this morning because I went to bed at 2. I went to bed at 2. I woke up at about 7. I looked at my phone. There are 25 text messages from Alfie.
Mm-hmm.
So between 2 and 7, yes, Tom.
Wow.
So the dude has just been littering us with and peppering us with the information that's coming out of this thing.
Mass and Tom, have you guys seen any of the updates from over there in Japan? Anything that's coming out?
All the Starfighter with Ryan Gosling, the Sean Levy
Mm-hmm.
movie.
Yep.
That's scheduled for 2026, and I saw all the comments that went. That gives it plenty of time to get canceled.
That is correct. That is correct.
That's kind of really all I've seen. 'Cause
Darth
they're
Maul-
really hammering that one right now.
Darth Maul animated series
Yeah.
coming out. Ahsoka season 2 starts filming right after Celebration ends. A lot of smaller little things, a lot of toy talk, a lot of different avenues they can go down, books, things like that, comics. But Brent, I haven't seen anything really besides those two that makes me think, okay, there's some big surprise coming or anything like that. I think that was
Mando Grogu.
Mando Grogu trailer. Yeah,
I think they shot their wad with the Ryan Gosling, even though that was leaked. But they actually confirmed it. But then again,
Yeah.
they have also confirmed at the other celebration they confirmed the Patty Jenkins shit. So yeah,
I won't hold my breath for a new movie.
correct. When I see the release date and it's actually in the theaters and I can purchase tickets, then it gets exciting.
Yep, and he'll be there at midnight, and he'll let us all know.
Correct.
The day of.
yes.
Actually, I think the later time would probably work for me on some of these nights because, like, if we don't have any plans, my wife usually goes to bed pretty early, and that'd be one of those things that a weeknight.
Yeah.
That's what Matt and I did for years. We'd go to the midnight showing of something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
My neighbor, several years ago, because he worked third shift, we would go to the Tuesday night showing of the last showing on Tuesday night because he was a third shifter, and I just got into a habit. I can get to those shows. Everybody's in the house is asleep. I'm not really messing with anything, and if I'm going to those shows, so
Yep.
Yeah, but the other one is the Mandalorian and Grogu preview, which is they showed a trailer, which I'm guessing Tom and Mass have not seen.
I've not seen it. No.
Yeah,
Alfie shared those with us.
So as soon as I got it, I watched it, and then I showed it to one of my teacher friends because it was school was going on. So I walked down the hallway, showed it to 2 teachers. Then I went to go watch it again at about 10:30. And it had already gotten copyright stricken.
Wiped from the internet
because of the fact that it was
bootleg.
It was like a bootleg. Somebody had recorded it of the show. You see snowtroopers inside the interior of an AT-AT.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting prepared and getting dressed. And did you know that there was actually a breathing mask underneath the cloth of the snowtroopers face mask?
Never knew that. No, I just thought that was the end of the face mask was just the
same.
Yeah.
So in this scene, they are getting ready, and there's a couple of them that have, and it looks like the mask looks a lot like the shore trooper mask, the beach masks from Scarif, which have oval respirator in the middle, or the scout trooper. It has that oval, dark black respirator in the middle, and then they pull the bandana up over it like they're in the middle of COVID. But I didn't know that existed. I was shocked.
The
So
more
does
you
it-
know.
Does the trailer? Well, I'll watch the trailer when we get done. Does it
Yeah.
look interesting, or does it show anything?
Yeah,
Okay.
lots of action. It's a trailer.
Grogu swims.
Grogu swims. He's in with the freaks, the Babu
He's kind of
freaks.
like a reptile. I could see he's amphibious.
Yeah.
Like that. What creature is
He
he?
barely
can-
walks,
What is Yoda's
but he barely
creature?
walks.
Yeah.
He can use both hands. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
He's amphibious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
Isn't that ambidextrous?
Correct.
Yes.
But Shaquille O'Neal said he was amphibious because he can use both hands.
Yeah. Wow.
Because he's
All
a
right.
big Aristotle and he knows things.
I'm gonna hit you guys with a fun little question that Tom brought up to kind of finish things out here. So, Tom, I'm not gonna go into the
Question number 3.
I don't know. I can't decide. I'm going back and forth.
Did you have a list, Tom?
Oh, I've got a list, but he took the list
got a list.
down. Our notes list, he took it down, so I couldn't add them to it. It was really last minute. I woke up, my brain started like going.
All right, I'm going to try this one because it's just off topic. Let's see what we get here. Is the Earth overpopulated because we are eliminating survival of the fittest, and is that why we as a society are getting dumber?
Wow, you went with that one. That one goes with the weatherman.
Yeah, I know,
That
but
one goes with the weather. You have to do the weatherman before you get to this part.
all right. How desperate is a weatherman to? How desperate is a weatherman to get attention?
Have you guys noticed, like on the news, even if there's a storm coming now, it just used to be a ticker across the bottom. You know, you can still watch your favorite program on TV
Oh no.
and not get the interruption of, you know, hey, this storm cell's coming in. Now, like the newsman comes in and it's like they show the radar and we got a swirl over here that could be
No,
dangerous.
it's a bow echo. It's a bow echo.
What's that?
They call
bow
it a bow
echo.
echo. You've
The
never heard them say it? Like,
The swirl?
yeah, but they refer to it as the bow echo. Like I
No,
never
do you
heard
know
the
why?
term bow echo until then.
Do you know why I don't know that? Because I'm usually cussing at the TV and the weatherman telling me get off the freaking TV because it's during Survivor or it's something that I'm watching live that I'm interested in, and that they cut 30 minutes out of our show now with live updates of what's going on, and it's like, shut up. And because of this, is that, you know, are we eliminating the people that don't realize the storm's coming and that are sitting watching TV that might possibly die?
Wow.
That's how it's connected. I had no idea. Like
Yeah.
I had no idea
Full
where
circle.
the connection of the idiocracy and
Yes,
this were connected, but that's where you're at.
It's a
You're-
full
like,
circle.
You're like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
the
we
sky is
safety
dark.
proof everything so nobody can like cut themselves and actually hurt themselves. Like everything's, we've bubble wrapped society to the point where, you know,
What you're saying is you're okay if people aren't paying attention, watching a streaming service, don't have their weather stuff up, and get killed by a tornado.
Yes.
Yeah, because then he can
I'm
finish his
okay with that
show.
as well. Yeah, I'm okay
because
with
listen,
that as well.
it's more important to me to know who's getting voted off Survivor tonight.
No,
Because otherwise, I'll get on Instagram and I'll get spoilers tomorrow.
back in 2008. No, back in 2008, 9. There was one that interrupted a hockey game. It was a playoff hockey game. It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
Pittsburgh Penguins and like Blackhawks playoff hockey game. They cut in, and I think and hockey's not that big, but there were enough people that they said the next time it cut in, we'll get you back to your hockey game. We just
Yeah.
got to give you an update. We understand that you want to watch the game. We'll get you back to the game as fast as possible. Like enough people called the station to say, don't ever do that again,
Passionate
because it was in the
fans.
middle of the playoff hockey game.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. A ticker, a little map, you know, where you need to. But they come on and they just talk the shit out of the freaking storm. Like, no, like if you don't know to get out of the way, or like if you haven't been taught to like duck and cover and get underneath the table, get underneath your desk at school, if you haven't been taught that,
Here's the deal, though.
So, Tom, you're all good with searching for survivors tomorrow, as long as you don't miss Survivor tonight. Is that,
Yes,
is
you
that the
have
plan?
hit the nail on the head.
And well crafted. You had some time, Mass, to craft that one. That was
yes.
well
Yes,
crafted.
that was done. I don't mind
I-
looking for survivors.
I will
as long
also
as-
say that if you're watching a TV report of the tornado, or you're hearing the tornado siren, the tornado has already touched down, and that's from experience.
Mhm.
If you remember back, what was it, 2 years ago, a year ago, the tornado that hit Center Grove?
Yes.
There was a swim meet that was going on, and I was getting ready to leave the swim meet. And I was walking out the front doors, or the Hall of Excellence doors, and I see debris
Oh.
flying over to the right. And no sound is being made, mind you. I just see debris, and I knew it was windy, so I thought, and there was construction, so I thought it was like just straight line winds. And I look over to my car. I'm over by the football stadium. I'm like, I don't think I'll make it. So I walk back in and just kind of wait it out. And at that same exact time, my daughter is in the pool and sees the tornado out the pool windows, because the tornado had already ripped through one neighborhood and was going across the schools. There is no siren at this point. There's been no notification that a tornado hit the ground, and it had already destroyed about 4 or 5 houses and was moving past the high school. So if you're watching, you're probably gonna get hit. Like, there's no notice for it. I mean,
Or-
didn't we learn that from until like 1998 with Twister? Like,
The problem is the guy that operates the sirens was watching Survivor. Oh shit!
Just wait for the commercial break. I'll turn it on in a
I
second.
got this.
And I will go back to the first question that started us off. I am convinced that the movie Idiocracy was a prophecy
Yes.
and not a movie.
Yes. Yeah, it is crazy.
If you
But-
like, I take it you guys have seen
Oh
Idiocracy.
yeah.
It's a
It's
fantastic
the
movie.
Judd Apatow, not Judd Apatow. It was
No,
the guy
it's Mike
that,
Judge.
Yeah, Mike Judd. Yeah.
But it's prophetic. It is not like, that is almost like the Bible of what is happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen it, Joe?
I've not. It's on
Ooh,
my
you
list.
need to
I
watch
just wrote it
it.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
You count on it. Hey, I always like to keep these Saturday mornings short so Mass can go back to sleep. Any closing thoughts? Anything you guys want to hit before we break away here?
So I was going to talk to you guys about my. There's another game that I play. It's called Blood Bowl. So Blood Bowl is basically fantasy football with miniatures. Think of it like the electronic. I think I told you guys maybe about it. It's like the electronic board, and you
Yeah.
turn it on and you can play. But like, you roll dice and you move things. And anyways, I have a team full of Amazon women. Here's some of the because you have to name them, and it's all about having fun. So here's some of the some of the names.
So the
China.
players.
My team of
Okay.
my players. China, the wrestler. Joan of Arc. Harley Quinn. Scarlet. Mara Jade, because I painted up 2 of them that have red hair. So Scarlet and Mara Jade. Elle Woods. Wonder Woman is my quarterback. Hut Slayer is my second quarterback. Like, they're 2, so I called her Hut Slayer. Alona Mar, the rugby player, she is what's called a blitzer. So she's faster than everybody else, and it's like Alona Mar is the woman rugby player from the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Arya Stark is my other blitzer, because I just see her charging with the knives.
With the needle.
And then so you have the next specialized group is the blockers, and I have RBG for Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Ronda Rousey. Those are the names of my players. And then I could hire an assistant coach, and I have a Taylor Swift model coming that's my assistant coach. I'm going to paint up Taylor Swift.
Be interested to watch one of those games.
Yeah, I think I need to see video of
And
those things.
I want to hear somebody calling the game.
So there's like dwarves, there's like lizard men, there's like a team full of rats. They're called Skaven, but they're rats. So it's silly fun, but kind of fantasy football, and how well you do, you can accumulate star player points.
Fantastic. Another thing that I can't wrap my mind around. I just need to see visuals.
Have you seen the thing when someone's trying to explain a game to you, and it's like a a marker going around on a circle, and it's got like an eraser that's erasing
As it's
the
going.
marker as it goes around. That's my brain.
It's because you've smelled too much Dr. Squatch stuff. Your brain's a little full of sense right now.
I did see a commercial the other day, and I thought of you, Tom. It had a screaming goat in it.
No, those were the best from Love
Thor.
and Thunder.
Yeah.
Every time they'd those were the best. Brent, you remember those from Thor: Love and Thunder?
I honestly have never got through because I didn't go to the theaters because I didn't get the invite. I guess the invitation was in the mail. I think the invitation was in the mail, so I didn't get the invite. But it was on streaming services, and it's hard for me to sit and watch a movie at home because I'll either get up and get food, go to the bathroom, take care of the kids, the dog. Like, I don't watch movies. It doesn't hold my interest. Like, I have to go to the theater to get the interest held. So I have not completed Love and Thunder.
It's a good movie. It's like
that's not what I've heard. I was gonna say that's not what I've heard from many people who have reviewed.
Okay, Ragnarok was like pushing the boundaries of humor and Marvel movie, and it's top 3 for me. Someone just opened a door in his underwear.
Lovely. Don't come on screen.
Don't come on screen. Anyway.
Is his name Phil?
Huh?
Is his name Phil?
Phil McCracken?
No,
yep.
My younger son, who's 21.
Oh, okay, so he's a relative.
Yeah. Okay. Opens the door in his underwear eating a donut, and his hair's disheveled. Just no shirt, just anyway.
What kind of donut?
I think it's Rise and Roll. Nate popped in. He's up here from Jeffersonville, so we have Rise and Roll that way.
No.
Anyway, what was I saying?
The
Ragnarok was top 3.
Ragnarok was pushing the boundaries. Thor, Love and Thunder was Taika Waititi. Had too much of that morning weed.
Or nose candy. Which one?
Or no, one of the two. One of the two. Yeah. So
why not both?
Yeah. There we go.
Or both.
Guys, thanks so much. I know it was a new mashup with Rule the Galaxy and those guys. Brent, I appreciate you being here.
I'd love to be on as much as you guys will have me.
We will have you on, and we'll get some more.
Wake up at 8 a.m. I'm right there with Mass. Like I might seem like I'm not, but I'm right there with Mass.
Joe and I were texting like an hour before.
Yeah. No, not this guy. I had the alarm to go off because I knew that I had to wake up, but I wasn't fully awake until about 7:30.
I'm glad we can see your face now too. The halogen lights have finally brightened up.
It's just the location, man. I wish I had my hobby room, then I'd be able to paint the Mara Jades. Cobb Vanth is on the way, and so is Jackson, by the way.
Love it.
Sweet.
Love it.
Sweet.
Guys, go have a good Easter with your families. Go do some fun stuff. It's going to be a crazy weekend with the Molineros. And go pay attention to all the Star Wars celebration stuff that's going on. And I'm sure we'll talk about that real soon. And by the way, Andor starts next week. So everybody get yourself prepped for all that.
Exciting times.
Yeah, exactly. Exciting times. Guys, thanks so much. To everybody who's paying attention and listening, thanks so much. We'll see you next time on Those Guys.
We'll see you.